So, to get started, there's some really key terminology that you absolutely must be aware of before we go any further. Now, you may already know these, but just to bring everybody up to the same level, I wanted to cover them off. So, first of all, looking at the main part of your screen, you will see all of these boxes. Each box is what's known as a cell, and each cell has a reference. That cell is made up of a row number, which is the numbers down the left hand side of the page, and a column letter, which are the letters that go across the top of the page. So the cell I'm clicked in right now is A2. If I move over here, the cell I'm clicked in now is K9. So the row is number 9, the column is K, and the cell is K9. Okay, so that's cells, rows, and columns. The other dimension to cover is sheets. And what a sheet is basically a page, like we have just here, and there's one page of rows and columns for each sheet. So here we have sheet 1, which is the page we're currently on. If I click this plus button, we'll get a new sheet, and that new sheet has its own set of rows and columns, and it sits independent to the other sheet that we were on, and you can click between the sheets at the bottom. Sheets can also be referred to as worksheets, and your Excel file, as in the actual file that you're working with within Excel, is often referred to as the workbook. Finally, we are going to cover later in this course an introduction to formulas, but just to give you a brief taste of what a formula is, if I was to click back into cell A1, if I was to write equals 10 plus 10 and hit enter, that comes out as 20. Now that is a very, very basic example of a formula, equals 10 plus 10. And there's lots of different ways in Excel that you can tell Excel to perform different types of calculations or different types of actions based upon what you put after the equal sign. And we're going to come on to that later in the course. Okay, so that's a basic introduction to terminology. Now let's move on to working with cells.